All right, good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Rebecca, and we are lucky to have the head of the science department, Haley.
I am Miss Bay.
Okay, at Tach Enterprises. So today we're going to be doing a science experiment, and we're going to be learning about the science word called density. So for this experiment, we have 3 liquids. We have syrup, we have oil, and we have water. And we're also going to add a little bit of food coloring. But these are our 3 main liquids. So what we're going to find is the density of the liquids. So if something is dense, the density... Yes, you're going to pour, okay?
Okay.
That means that there's lots of atoms and molecules packed together. We'll just call it particles. There's lots of particles packed together. That means it has a high density. So it's very thick.
Like your shirt, baby. Right.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
And if it has a low density, that means it just has a little bit of particles in it. So to explain what I'm saying, I'm going to have my assistant Haley here. We're going to pour the first liquid into our glass container. Can you hold the liquid?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to pour it together. Okay, that's perfect. Maybe a little more. Do a little more. Perfect. All right. So that is our first liquid. We're going to add some food coloring.
I want to do it.
Okay. You can do it.
Schön vorsichtig, Haley. Ja.
Oh, very good. What color did it change? What color is that?
Orange
Very good.
and yellow.
It looks orange and yellow. That's right. Very good. Okay, so that's our first liquid. So this is what you can see. This is the density of this liquid. Next, we're going to do the maple syrup. Do you think that the maple syrup is going to be on the bottom and have a high density with lots of particles? Or do you think the maple syrup is going to go on the top, above the water?
On the top.
Think it's going on the top? Okay, let's see if Haley's right. What do you think, boys and girls at home? Do you think the syrup's going to be on the top or the bottom?
On the top.
Okay, let's see what happens. Look at that. Oh, okay, stop. Let's look. Is it on the top or is it on the bottom?
On the top.
Look, the syrup is on the bottom. Let's do a little bit more.
Mhm.
Okay, a little more. Okay, that's good. Wow, boys and girls, the density of syrup, it's much more thick than the water. There's more particles, which means that the syrup is on the bottom. It's sent to the bottom.
And the water.
We did the water, you're right. Now we did the syrup. So now we're going to do the oil. Do you think the oil is going to be very dense and go on the bottom? Or do you think it's going to have a low density and be on the top? You think it's going to be a low density and be on the top? Okay, so let's pour the oil in. Let's see. Where did the oil go? Is it on the top?
Yeah.
That's right, the oil.
Wow.
So if you see the syrup is on the bottom, it has a high density. There's lots of particles packed together.
I want to do it.
You want to do the last little bit of oil? And in the middle, you can see the orange. We had orange water is in the middle, just a medium density in the middle. And then the top has a high density, which means there's just a little bit of particles. So it's floating on the top. So you can see here, look, Haley, look at the chart. You can see if it has a high density, it has lots of particles, lots of atoms and molecules. Do you see? So that's what represents our syrup. It has so much, it's so thick. And then this is our water. It's in the middle. It has a few particles, so it stays in the middle. See, look, Haley. And on the top, the oil just has a little bit of particles. So that's why it's on the top, and they separate based on the liquid density. Well, now, do you want to do something special?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So remember when we collected our objects? Objects have density too. So if the object has lots of particles packed together, is it going to sink or float?
Sink.
That's right. It's going to sink. But if it just has a little bit of particles and just is a low density, is it going to sink or float?
Float.
That's right. Okay, so do you think that this...
On the parrot.
Yes. Do you think it's going to sink or float?
Float.
Okay, let's see. It's a piece of metal.
Can I put it on?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Rock!
Did it sink or float? It sunk all the way to the bottom. Can you see? It's so heavy.
I don't see it.
Here, look. See right there. It's so heavy, even heavier than the syrup. The next one?
The next one.
Okay, what do you want to do next? The grape?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if the grape is going to sink or float.
Float.
Float? Okay, let's see. Oh, look.
Uh-huh.
Look, it's floating in the water.
I don't see
Okay, here, let's turn it around. You see it? It looks like it's floating in the water. It's kind of resting on the surface. So, Haley, look. So this is where the metal has a high density and the grape has a in the middle density. Okay, you want to do the sponge that you cut this morning? Do you think it's going to sink or float?
Float.
Because it has a high density? Okay, very good. Let's see. Okay. Look, it's floating on the oil. Wow, that means it has a very low density.
Low density.
Even lower than... That's
I think we just on accent said high.
Oh, sorry. It has a very low density. Okay, this is the last one is our... Do you think it's going to sink or float?
Float.
And what is this?
A cap.
That's right, a bottle cap. Okay, let's see.
Woohoo!
Let's see. Okay, that one looks like it has a low density too. It looks like that one's staying in the oil. So it looks like that one has a low density and the sponge is kind of resting on top of the oil. And the cap, it has a low density. It's in the oil. And the grape is in the middle where the water is.
I want to do it again.
Okay, so look, let's see. So this has a very high density, lots of particles and atoms. Okay, first let's just show the friends at home each object, okay? And then we have the grape and is there.
What is in the bottom, Mama?
This is the metal. This is a piece of metal and a grape and the bottle cap. And look at how they separate based on their what? Okay, so now we have learned about the liquid density and the density of objects. Can we say thank you for watching, boys and girls?
Thank you for watching Boys and Girls.
We love you. We miss you.
Bye-bye.
I hope you remember, learned a little bit about density today.